When you think about treasure, what pops into your head first?
Yeah.
Maybe sparkling jewels, piles of gold, huge houses. We tend to think of stuff we can see, stuff we can touch, right?
Yeah.
But what if there was this ancient idea of treasure, something, well, way beyond any earthly fortune, something you actually can't lose? Today, we're doing a deep dive into something called Ariyasap, or Noble Treasure. We're drawing from a really old Pali text, the Tathagata, and its commentary, too.
Exactly. And our goal here is to really unpack these, spiritual assets. We want to get what they are, and maybe more importantly, why they're seen as so much more valuable, so much more lasting than, say, money or property. We'll dig into specific insights from the original sermon that explain not just what these treasures are, but how you cultivate them and the pretty profound effect they have on your actual life.
Okay, let's jump right in. The first treasure. Yasa sara Tathagata akala supatitita. That translates roughly to unwavering, firm faith in the Lord Buddha. Now, faith, that can mean a lot of things. Believing in a historical person, maybe, but this seems deeper.
It is, much deeper. The sermon points straight away to the Dhammakaya. It makes it clear this faith isn't just a general belief. It's aimed at what's called the true fundamental body of the Buddha, his absolute essence. Sounds a bit abstract, maybe.
A little, yeah. But there's a story that makes it really concrete, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The story of Suppabuddhakuti, the beggar suffering from leprosy, it really illustrates this.
Right. So despite everything, this man had such incredibly deep faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So strong it apparently reached Indra, the chief god. So Indra comes down, disguised as a normal person, and offers Suppabuddha, well, everything. A life free of disease, endless wealth. All he had to do was just deny the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Think about that temptation.
Huge temptation. But he refused, flat out. He actually told Indra to get lost, called him a rascal Indra for even suggesting it. All he could say was, that is Buddha, that is Dhamma, that is Sangha, firmly. And the sermon really stresses that his certainty wasn't just like wishful thinking. It came because he had truly known or perceived the Dhammakaya within himself. Someone without that direct perception, they might just take the money,
Wow. So that story shows that real unshakable faith isn't just agreeing with ideas. It comes from something inside, a direct seeing and experience of this Dhammakaya.
Precisely. That perception is what makes the faith irrevocable and firm. It becomes the actual foundation of your life, something that can't be bought or argued away. It's an inner knowing.
Okay, so that's faith. What's the second noble treasure?
The second is silaka yasa kalyanam aryakantam pasamsitam. Basically, practicing precepts, moral conduct with good grace in a way that the Buddha himself would admire. Again, it's more than just following rules.
More than a checklist of do's and don'ts.
Definitely. The text actually makes a distinction here. There's pariyati, the theory, the lists of precepts, like the 5, the 8, to 27 for monks. But then there's patipati, practical precepts, or even better, perceivable precepts.
Perceivable. How can a rule be perceivable? That sounds interesting.
It does. And this is where it gets very internal, very experiential. To really perceive precepts, the text says you need deep concentration, samadhi, enough to attain Dhammakaya. Through that inner attainment, you can actually, see the precept internally.
See it how? What does it look like?
The sermon describes it as seeing a transparent sphere. That's sila, it's called. It's seen within the Dhammasphere that makes up the human body. Clear as a mirror, maybe the size of the moon or sun in your inner vision. It's like a luminous representation of your own moral purity. And seeing this atisila then reveals other spheres, adisita, the mind, and atipana, wisdom. They're all connected. This visible precept, atisila, is the noble path to freedom from suffering, the path the arahants walk. So good precepts aren't just rules, they actually support the Dhammakaya, keep it bright.
Okay, hold on. If our morality, our ethical conduct, can be directly seen inside like that, how does that change things? It makes ethics less like external homework and more like, an internal reality, a part of us.
Exactly. That's the core idea. It's not just following rules out there. It becomes this luminous reality in here. It's about embodying that goodness, making it a visible, tangible part of your spiritual makeup.
Fascinating. Okay, on to number 3, Sankhyapada Yasati. Faith or belief in the Sangha, the community of monks. This one feels a bit more straightforward, maybe.
On the surface, yes. There's a conventional faith. Like, someone giving alms feels good, seeing lots of monks feels like they're helping Buddhism continue. The sermon gives an example. William Kapilavaitho, a Westerner who had such strong faith he actually left his family behind to become a monk in Thailand. That's real dedication, born from that kind of faith.
But knowing this text, there's probably more to it. it mentions an advanced faith. What's that about?
Right. This advanced faith isn't just in the monks you see walking around. It's faith in the Sangha gem, the Sanghartana. And the text is really explicit here. The Sangha gem is the refined Dhammakaya.
Okay, the refined Dhammakaya. How does that relate to the Sangha?
Well, this refined Dhammakaya is described as being active. It actively maintains and observes the Dhamma, the teachings, specifically the Dhamma that brings about the Buddha gem, the Buddha essence. It's said to perform extreme good works by keeping both the Dhamma gem sphere and the Buddha gem clean, graceful, making sure they last.
So, let me see if I get this. It's less about belief in the group of people, the monks, and more about belief in this underlying principle, this force that maintains the whole system.
That's a great way to put it. It's like the skilled team keeping a complex household running smoothly and prosperously. The true Sangha, in this deeper sense, is the fundamental active force that sustains the very heart of the Buddha's teachings and ensures they continue. It's the maintenance crew in a very profound way.
All right, one more treasure to go. Number 4, Ujuputaka Dasanam.
Yeah.
Having a vision that is right, straight, righteous. Sounds a bit abstract, maybe.
It can sound that way, but the text grounds it quite practically. This righteous vision is very specific. It's the ability to see the Dhamma gem rightly and correctly. It means your way of seeing things is aligned with Nibbana, with liberation. It matches the path the Buddha and the Arahants took. And get this, the text says someone with this vision, this dasanam, will be called wealthy by the wise, not poor. Having this clear, steady, correct vision is essential for your own, well, prosperity and splendor, both worldly and spiritual.
Okay, so how does seeing things correctly actually impact your life and future? It sounds like everything hinges on this vision.
It really suggests that. What's so striking is this idea that your existence, your future well-being, it's all directly tied to this straight or righteous way of seeing the Dhamma. It implies that clear spiritual insight isn't just nice to have, it's the ultimate security, the ultimate form of abundance, way beyond money or possessions.
So bringing it all together, these 4 virtues, unwavering faith in the Buddha's essence, these perceivable precepts, deep faith in the Sangha as that maintaining force, and this righteous vision. If you have these, the sermon says you are adalito, not poor, truly wealthy. And your life is amagantasajivitam, never useless, always advantageous.
Yeah, and the text really hammers this home with that comparison. Just one day and night living with these 4 qualities is worth more than 100 years living without them. Think about the sheer value placed on them. A single day.
It's incredible. So why? Why are they so much better than, say, $1 billion? What makes them intrinsically superior?
Because, as the text describes them, they are like mental attachments, or Dhamma, that are untouchable by the outside world. They cannot be stolen, robbed, snatched, or taken away. They're not out there to be lost. They are the nature of the real thing, rooted inside your own mind. That's unshakable security. They become part of you.
And this connects to something even bigger, right? About how life itself is sustained.
It does, yeah. It gets really profound here. The sermon explains that all these different bodies we might inhabit, the human one we know, but also subtler ones like celestial bodies, Rupa Brahma, Arupa Brahma bodies. Each one exists because of a corresponding Dhamma sphere. Think of it like an unseen energy field sustaining each level of existence. And here's the mind-blowing part. The Buddhas, specifically the Dhammakaya aspect of the Buddhas, are said to be continuously maintaining these spheres for everyone, all the time.
So they're actively keeping us alive, protecting us.
That's what the text implies. They're sustaining these vital connections. It even says that if that maintenance stopped, maybe because of Mara, the symbolic figure of obstruction, if that connection was broken, life would just cease. Instantly. So when we venerate the Buddha, it's not just respect, it's acknowledging this ongoing life-giving function. He's described as being incredibly generous, constantly sending these sustaining treasures, even when Mara tries to interfere.
Wow. That casts everything in a different light. It's like there's this invisible, fundamental support system underpinning reality. It connects everyone, everything in this deep spiritual web. Yeah, that's profound.
It totally reframes where real security comes from, doesn't it? Not from external things, but from this fundamental spiritual reality.
So this deep dive has really opened up a different view of wealth. True wealth isn't the gold, not the property. It's these 4 noble treasures.
Yeah.
That deep, unwavering faith of the Buddha's essence, the luminous reality of good conduct, understanding the Sangha's vital role, and that clear, righteous vision.
Absolutely. And they aren't just nice ideas. They're presented as real internal assets you can't lose. Assets that actually sustain you and lead to special and vast happiness, both now and in the future.
And the advice is to actively cultivate them, right? To
Hmm.
constantly accompany your life with these virtues, to keep focusing the mind on the Dhammakaya so that faith stays strong, the vision stays clear.
Exactly. It's an active, ongoing process. And it leaves us with a pretty big thought, doesn't it? If your very existence, moment to moment, is sustained by these invisible Dhammaspheres, kept going by the Buddhas, what does that really mean for how you see reality? And maybe more importantly, how could that understanding change your intentions, your actions day to day? Something to really chew on.